You ready to fucking die?
No, yeah, I'm a bad bitch. You can't kill me.
Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Suffocation, no breathing.
What's going on, guys? Turkehy back to the brand new video. Today we have NPL Miners Week 3 versus Illusion and his Las Vegas Venusaurs. Before I start, make sure to check out Illusion. His link is in the description below. He actually co-owns a channel with II. If you guys might know II, you might not from the minors, but they're both in the minors. They both made it in this season, and they both run the same channel. So make sure to check out their content. They upload very frequently, considering there's two of them. But yeah, also join the fan server and become a TOR Luxrays. That's important. And I really do appreciate the support on the recent videos. So thank you all for that. Hopefully we could keep that up, but I just want to let you guys know that I appreciate it. But if we hop into this week's matchup, Illusion has Tapu Koko with the Z, Infernape, Hydreigon, Empoleon, Porygon 2, Slowbro, Gligar, Mega Heracross, Vileplume with the Z, Staraptor, Rhydon, Raichu. Now, oh, why am I on Lando? Oops. Now, the first thing I noticed on his team was that Porygon 2 kind of shits on my offense. Like, Mega Houndoom, Lando, Thundy, and Aerodactyl all get destroyed by Lando not by Lando, by Porygon pretty much. As like Evalia like Porygon with like Trace can destroy my team. Just Bolt Beam in general just kind of puts in work versus my team, especially coming from a Porygon. It could get download as well, which could boost his special attack maybe. Also, Heracross is a problem, but more importantly, Infernape. Like, Infernape's dual stab, if you look at it, I do not deal with that really well. My only resist being Azu, and like Gungshot hits like a truck, and Azu's not that bulky. At least it's not bulky in this matchup. So Infernape could put in so much work this matchup, I think. And Coco outspeeds again my offensive threats being Lando and Thundy. I have nothing to naturally outspeed. I need Scarfers. I believe he'll be he kind of has to be max speed Coco, at least I think so, because I do have an Aerodactyl which could easily just come, because last week I believe he played or week 1 he played and Aerodactyl was a threat to him, he said. So maybe regular Aerodactyl could be a threat, who knows. But I could speed tie with that thing. Also, it's nice for Scarf Breloom, as that could very well be a possibility, as that could put in work, you know. And other than that, not really too much choice. Vileplume can deal with Azu to an extent, and Breloom pretty much 100%. So the combination of Porygon plus Vileplume puts in a lot of work, and like every other team, no team has switches to Heracross. I could run Sapsip or Azu, but then I lose a lot of offensive pressure on his team, because Sapsipper literally cannot do any damage to anything, and like his walls will just sit there and outstall me pretty much, because they all have recovery and toxic, and I don't have recovery and or a toxic resist, barring this Pokemon Savali Steel, which you'll see later. And Staraptor could put in work, but I don't think it does that much. I mean, it could come, but I think rather like Infernape, Coco, and like Heracross will be his offensive mons, because I think that's a bit, those put in more work than Staraptor. But who knows, he could bring it. I don't have very good flying resist or normal resist for that matter, so he could bring it. Let's just hop into the team I brought. My first one I decided to put on the team was Thunderous T, with the Fighting Z, Sludge Wave, Focus Blast, Thunderbolt, HP Flying, and nearly max speed. HP Flying, I did have Psychic on this, but I was enlightened by someone. I can't remember your name. I apologize, but oh, it was by Daniel, our Papa Boy, he enlightened me on this HP flying over Psychic. Because it does pretty much the same damage to Vileplume, and actually probably does a little bit more to Vileplume, and it OHKOs Heracross, while Psychic actually doesn't, because Heracross is a fucking animal. But other than that, I did have agility over Sludge Wave, but I felt like I needed to hit Koko for a decent amount of damage, as Calm Mind Koko could be an issue, and I also live any Koko hit, like literally any Koko hit. Z Dazzling Gleam does 99% at +1, I believe. Literally, like with 8 HP, it does 99% maximum. I believe that's at +1. It could be just at neutral, but I think that's at +1. Gligar could be an issue to this, as I don't have HP Ice, but I do have Tech on Lando, or not Tech. Well, I have stuff on Lando. You probably already saw it. Actually, I had knockoff on Lando, and Belly Drum Azu can kind of set up on that thing and beat it, unless he taunts me, which I don't think he'll taunt to Azu. That might be banded. Actually, doesn't even get taunt. It probably does get taunt. Gliscor gets taunt, so it probably does get taunt. Never mind me. But Fightium is nice. In case Porygon is low, I could just Fightium that thing and knock that thing out. It's also nice for potential Rhydon, but I don't think he'll bring Rhydon. And it's nice for Hydreigon, but I also don't think he'll bring Hydreigon, because Hydreigon kind of has a decently good matchup. Not that good. Has a pretty subpar matchup, if I say so myself. But Thundity is really nice. Let's just hop into the next one, being Azumarill. Now, Belly Drum Azu actually shits on his team. Now, I could Belly Drum up on like a lot of his threats, like Gligar, like I said, like Slowbro. I could take any hit from Slowbro, like Empoleon, unless he's Roar, which I kind of expect him to be Roar, so I don't think I could set up on Empoleon. I could set up on Choice Locked Infernape. I could set up on Hydreigon, because if he's not Z-move, and if you guys didn't know, Hydreigon got belched this gen, so even if he is belch, he needs to run like sub, and like if he subs himself down, he'll be in range of Aqua Jet. So even if he is belch, he won't like, he needs to pop his berry, which I don't think he'll be able to do unless he's some weird ass other berry. But yeah, it could just win. Heracross actually takes a +6 Aqua Jet, so that's really annoying. But depending on his speed on Heracross, I actually will outspeed that thing, because if you do see, I am a Jolly Azu with 201. This is creeping every mon, like his Vileplume, his Porygon, his Empoleon. This is creeping an Adamant Azu. It's most importantly for Vileplume, as in Mox I saw a lot of speedy Vileplumes, so this is creeping those speedy Vileplumes now by 1 point, if he's creeping an Adamant Azu, and I can knock that thing out with a return. I don't have coverage on actually, let me address this first. I would carry knockoff, as that does hit Vileplume plus Empoleon, and it OHKOs both of them pretty much. But I kind of think he'll bring Z Vileplume, as crazy as that sounds, because a knockoff could be a very like, what's the word? Whatever. It could be a very, God, what the fuck's the word? It could come, pretty much is what I'm trying to say. Knockoff Belly Drum Azu could come, or knockoff Banded could come, and that just OHKOs that thing. So it could be Z, but that's why I am returned. And +6 Play Rough to max defense, max HP Empoleon. I don't remember the calcs off the top of my head, but I think it does like 90 max, like 79 to 90, something like that. So I need some chip on that thing to sweep, if I want to sweep with this thing. But it's overall nice. I believe the HP allows me to live something. I don't remember. But it allows me to live something and belly drum up on that thing. So yeah. And I OHKO Slowbro and everything else. So next Pokemon, I have Assault Vesguja. This is really nice for Koko. Unless he's physical Koko, but physical Koko doesn't really hit this thing hard for super effective damage anyways. Z Mirror Move could be an issue. Z Mirror Move plus like Wild Charge or like Brave Bird or Return even. But I don't think that OHKOs me, and I can hit that thing up with a Sludge Wave and OHKO it. So yeah. 20 speed on this thing is for anything, again, creeping Adamant Azu. So I could hit maybe a Heracross creeping that, hit it with Fire Blast, hit a Vileplume, hit that thing up with a Fire Blast. Overall nice. Takes hits from Hydreigon, takes hits from Vileplume, stops the Vileplume from healing up, because if he has Sap Zipper, which he'll more than likely have over like Moonlight or Synthesis, I could stop that thing with Sap Zipper. Just general coverage hit his entire team for at least neutral. I think this can live a Life Orb Infernape's close combat. I don't think it lives banded, but if he's banded, I just switch into Azu and pretty much clean. So yeah, that's that. It's pretty self-explanatory, nothing really to say. Complex EV spreads just to live the 44. I know what the 44 in Spadef is for. It's to live 2 Dazzling Gleams from Specs Coco at full after rocks, so I could switch in after rocks, and if he's Specs and he predicts me and goes for Dazzling Gleam, I could live 2. Thunderbolt's nice, you know, to hit stuff under Electric Terrain, and I don't really think I could say much more stuff because it's pretty self-explanatory. But you know, next we got Pridal, the Psyduel, the Savali. Now this thing, Savali Seal, like I said before, is my dedicated answer to both Hydreigon and Staraptor. Now this is really nice for Hydreigon because if he does for some reason bring Hydreigon, I could parting shot on that thing and go hard Azu and like even eat a Belch, because -1 doesn't do too much as it's uninvested, because you need a berry to use Belch. But yeah, I could also defog because rocks are kind of an issue for Thundurus and like a general nuisance. Staraptor, I don't think he'll click close combat like right when he brings out Staraptor, because if I didn't reveal Savali Steel, he probably, I mean, he could predict it, but like that's like Steel out of like all the typings that Savali has, so that's kind of odd. 16 speed is for Heracross trying to speed creep me, so I could outspeed that thing maybe and hit that thing up with an Air Slash. Also hits Infernape up with an Air Slash if he decides to go hard into that. So overall nice. Parting Shot is really nice for his offensive threats, and yeah, Ice Beam, Air Slash kind of hits his entire team for neutrally, barring Empoleon, but like I could just Parting Shot on that thing and get momentum into my other mons. Speaking of other mons, we got Breloom here. Swords Dance, Mach Punch, Bullet Seed, and Force Palm with the Focus Sash. Max attack Adamant with max speed. The reason why I'm just 252 is because if Heracross wants to try to speed creep me, try to speed creep like slowish Breloom. Like I don't know what speed he'll creep on Breloom, so I just wanted to run max speed just in case he's creeping like some like random Breloom creeping something else on his team, something like that. So that's why max speed. I had Return over Force Palm at one point to hit Vileplume, but I realized I had coverage on you to hit Vileplume. I also had Belgium Azu and Gudra to pretty much 1v1 Vileplume, so I don't think I needed this. Plus 2 Force Palm does a lot, and it also is nice for Porygon, as before I only had Mach Punch hit Porygon super effectively, which is no good because Porygon can do a lot of damage to teams that are not prepared. It's also nice for that 30% Paratrans, so if he decides to go hard Heracross and I click Force Palm, I could punish that thing. Focus Sash is really nice to revenge stuff like Infernape and Coco, as Bullet Seed to Coco's doing a lot if I get like a couple hits, not only 2. And Force Palm is nice for Infernape to get, if I get a couple hits, I could kill. Actually, Force Palm's 1 hit, right? I think Force Palm is 1 hit. What am I saying? But Force Palm with the Technician could do a lot to Infernape. Also hits Hydreigon a lot, like really well. It's just a general nice stab for his defensive core, being Slowbro, Porygon, Empoleon, barring Vileplume, and Gligar, but Gligar can get knocked off by Lando, which, speaking of Lando, we have Lando. This thing, now, I have physical Lando here because it was pretty much a toss up between Earth Power and Earthquake and like max attack or max special attack, because the reason why this is Scarf is to revenge Coco. Sorry about that. And a non-Scarf Infernape and Heracross. So but Heracross gets outsped anyway, so it's mainly for Coco and Infernape, as I don't really have a switch into Infernape, so I would like to have Scarf Earthquake to kill that thing. And I live any Scarf hit, even with a minus defense nature. Knockoff is nice to catch a Porygon, maybe switching into what he might think to be a Sure Force Life Orb Lando. So that's nice. U-turn is nice to get offensive momentum versus Hydreigon, and as well as hitting it with super effective damage. So that's nice. If he wants to go hard Hydreigon on like Earth Power, I could U-turn and like go out into Breloom or Azu and just set up. And that's pretty much it. It could maybe clean late game, but I don't really expect it to clean late game, as it's pretty much just a knockoff and Earthquake things, and maybe HP flying the Heracross if it gets out of hand. But yeah, that's about it. Let's hop into the battle. I've been rambling on for far too long. So yeah, let's just go right into the battle. So here we are with the battle. As you can see, he actually decides to bring pretty interesting mons. He didn't bring Infernape, which was a huge surprise, to me at least. He also didn't bring Porygon, which was like mind-blowing to me. And he brought Rhydon. I don't know what Rhydon is there for, because Rhydon dies to pretty much anything on my team. Like, my 4 big offensive mons pretty much kill Rhydon. Like, Earth Power. I mean, they don't OHKO Rhydon, but Rhydon can't really switch into anything. It's good for rocks, I guess. But, Empoleon, I think, or Gligar would have been a better rocker. But I'm not going to question his prep. He could... his prep is obviously explained in his video, which you guys should watch. But I'm sure there's a reason why Rhydon came. Maybe to stop the Volt Switch from Thundurus, which is a pretty good reason. But if I was Scarf, but yeah. Actually, Porygon does that with Trace, so I just realized. No, I didn't realize. I just realized that. I knew that in prep, but like I just realized that now. So hey, that's pretty good. But anyways, disregarding that, I believe he's gonna lead off with either Rhydon, Coco, and or Staraptor. So I think Lando is my best lead, because if he leads Staraptor, I can knock that thing off and maybe catch him over predicting going for U-turn. So that's nice. He didn't bring Infernape, so Lando is kind of less useful. It's still useful for the Coco, but it's kind of less useful. So I do lead Lando because Coco lead is very kind of not obvious, but like kind of good versus me, because it could just get a free either Volt Switch or kind of kill pretty much versus me, or Nature Madness or anything pretty much. Coco can do a lot of things in this matchup. But let's just and also looking at his team, Breloom does a lot of damage to his team. But yeah, Breloom does a lot of damage to any team because it's a god. But let's just hop into the game. I do lead Lando as he leads Coco, so I did predict that lead, so that's nice. I go for EQ, not predicting anything. He goes hard Slowbro, so this leads me to believe he's AV Slowbro, which he didn't bring anything for Life Orb Lando, so that's kind of expected, or it makes sense that this thing is AV because it probably takes any hit from Lando. But Earthquake does like nothing, or does a lot actually. So in my calcs, this looked like 0 HP Slowbro. But I'm probably calced wrong there. So during the game, I thought this was actually Trick Room or something like that. But just the calc kind of threw me off. But like it doesn't really matter. As he goes for Ice Beam here, doesn't reveal Life Orb or anything else. So Ice Beam does nothing, and Gudra eats that. So it kind of does not lead me to believe he's Trick Room. But it's still in the back of my mind, of course. I could just go for Thunderbolt here. He makes a good prediction going to Rhydon. on the Thunderbolt to get up his rocks. I go for a Draco Meteor here to gauge the damage on this thing to see if he's Spidef or defensive. But this damage reveals to me he is pretty much max Spidef with the Violite, of course, and like careful nature. So I could just switch. He goes for Earthquake. That does a lot. So I could just switch hard into Azu, either predicting the Ice Punch and or Rocks. Even if he did Earthquake there again, I could eat that and still Belly Drum up on this thing because he would probably switch out, fearing maybe a Choice Banded set or something. But I just go for hard Belly Drum here as this thing cannot do anything barring Roar, and I didn't expect him to stay in. So he goes hard Vileplume, like I expected, and I should outspeed this thing, but nope, he actually outspeeds me. So I'm like, wow, that's a very, very fast Vileplume. But he actually reveals to me after the game that he's max timid Vileplume, which is very interesting. Good prep on his part. Speed tying with Azu, so it was never guaranteed for me to outspeed him. So that's very nice prep on his part. But I do knock him out with the return. He gets the poison on me, which is unfortunate because if he didn't get the poison on me, I could have gotten a kill, either a kill or I could have gotten big damage on Heracross. Because Aqua Jet does a lot of damage to even a max HP. I could have gotten a lot of damage on that thing. So I either would have gotten a kill or that. Or he could be Quick Attack Staraptor, which actually he reveals to me after. And during the game, he is Quick Attack. So that's a thing to note. So the poison does suck, but it doesn't suck too much. He goes Staraptor as I go this thing. I don't really need this thing. Because I do plan on getting off or getting the rocks out of the way so Breloom can put in work as Vileplume is down. So now Breloom is looking so much better this game. So I just go for knockoff, getting rid of this thing's scarf for a Thundy in the back. It's a Thundy, so Thundy can outspeed it. So I get rid of his scarf. He goes for double edge and kills me. So that's unfortunate. So Lando doesn't really do anything, but again, Breloom is looking so nice this game. I could just go for defog as I live, even close combat. He goes Heracross, and this is where I just decided to risk it and say fuck it pretty much. I'm going to air slash this thing. If I outspeed it, I outspeed and I get air slash off, which is nice. If I don't outspeed, then he kills me, and then I could just go Thunderous and pick up a kill pretty much. He could go hard Rhydon, but I could just Z-Focus Blast the thing and kind of pick up a kill after. So yeah, he Mega Evolves, and I do outspeed. I go for Air Slash, and I flinch, which is huge. That is absolutely huge. I'm so sorry to Illusion, but the Air Slash is low-key nice for me, though, so I like that. But that really sucks for Illusion. He could have got a close combat off, got rid of this thing, and that would have been bad in the future, as you'll see later on. But he switches out into Tapu Koko, as, of course, that resists Air Slash. And then I get a crit, but I don't think that really mattered. I could go for Parting Shot here. Go out into my Breloom, because I got the slow Parting Shot off. I am Sash, like I said. HPS does nothing, but he is neutral, because I got the Parting Shot off. So that's nice. All I needed was 3 Bullet Seeds there. If I got 2, that would have been unfortunate, but all I needed was 3, and then I could have Mach Punch after. But I got 4, so that knocks that thing out. So 1 kill for Breloom. He goes Staraptor. So I calced it, and Quick Attack actually I didn't calc it one. But I knew he wasn't Scarf, and I could Mach Punch this thing. So I kind of knew he was Quick Attack, but I don't think Quick Attack killed, because Breloom is pretty bulky, and this is unboosted Quick Attack from Staraptor. So I could just Mach Punch this thing and kill it. But I'm really low with Breloom, so if he gets up rocks, I have to defog them away. But here I could just sack Goodra to the Pin Missile. So yeah, 1 kill for Heracross and 1 death for Goodra. Goodra didn't really do anything. But here I could actually threaten him out with the Air Slash. So I predict that. I predict him either to go Rhydon or Slowbro and just not defog, but just Parting Shot out. on the prediction. And here I could just go hard into my Thunderous. I could have gone Breloom, but Breloom had the chance to not kill a Slowbro, and then he could just Psy Shock me or Scald me. I'm at like 5%, so that doesn't really matter what he goes for. I go for Thunderbolt. He goes hard this thing, and then Z Focus Blast just picks me up a kill, and or if he goes hard Heracross, I pretty much weaken this thing for Breloom. So at this point, Breloom does win like 100%. So it doesn't really matter what he goes for. All I just need to do is spam Defog versus this thing, because as you know, Defog has more PP than Rock. So if he spams Rocks with this thing, I just spam Defog and or kill this thing and then Defog on like whatever wants to come in, because I outspeed everything that wants to come in with the Sabali. But he doesn't play that game. He just goes for Earthquake. And I could go Breloom and pretty much win the game. The only way this Breloom doesn't win is if I get 2 Bullet Seed hits off on Slowbro. But he actually sacked right on there, which now Thunderous just wins. So it doesn't really matter how much hits I get. It's just for differential. But I believe he probably should have sacked Heracross, gone Slowbro, hope for the 2 Bullet Seed hits, kill me, and then hope for the Focus Blast missed on the Rhydon. I think that was his only way of winning. But he doesn't do that. He actually just sacks Rhydon. Heracross comes out. I don't know why I revealed Force Palm there. That's kind of weird. But any hit I went for killed that thing, so it's fine. And I guaranteed outsped because Savali outsped. And I get 3 Bullet Seeds off, which is nice for differential. So yeah, GG to Illusion. Sorry for the flinch. That really sucked bad, but you know, it's Pokemon, so what can you do? But yeah, we are 2-1 +4. I'm not gonna spoil the rest of the games. You should watch them, but we are pretty high up in the conference, I'm not gonna lie. So we're in a good spot here. Next week we play I, so I'm looking forward. I'm looking to beat both Trick of the Eye members back to back. We'll see if we could pull that off. So anyways, that's been it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.